Quick Hits 3 coming at you with Mike and Brandon. We got Hollis on the line. He's a training partner of ours, former MMA fighter as well. Going to try to make this quick and easy, starting from the bottom to the top. Right now, I'm 13-2 on my stats. He tried to tell me he's 10-5. I did the math. He's 9-6.
9-6.
9-6. Hollis right now is 0-0, so we'll see how that works out.
Let's go.
All right. Starting out the card, Sergey Spivak versus Jared Vanderaa. I guess I'll go first. Sergey, he's fought some good people. He's fought Walt Harris, got finished by him real quick, but I remember him beating Tai Tuivasa, which is a good fight. And he won arm triangle. He had to weather some of that. But that was a good fight. Then he fought Marcin Tybura, who's a beast. And then he lost to him by unanimous decision, which is if you get to the unanimous decision with him, it's pretty good. And then he beat Carlos Felipe, who is a good striker. I think Carlos Felipe's only fight. That was the dude that fought on that one of the other cards we saw. It was really good heavyweight fight. Both stand up. So I'm going. Jared Vanderaa hasn't fought as many top opponents. He's fought on the Contender Series was his last fight, and he finished that. He has a lot of finishes, mostly ground and pound, but he has some submissions as well, some guillotine, Kimura, triangle, ankle lock. So he has a wide variety of submissions. But I'm going to have to go with Sergey. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, it's funny, too, because Moldova, they've had like a few good fighters coming to the UFC recently. They had that one guy a couple shows ago, got that forearm choke, and I've heard a lot of good things about that guy, like from people that have trained with him. Now we got two Moldovians fighting to open this card up. I don't know a whole lot about Spivak's opponent, but I have, I really like Spivak's style, so I think I'm gonna go with Spivak on this one. All right, so I'm with you, but I've seen a lot of good things out of him so far.
Hollis, what you got?
All right, Jared Vanderaa. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce his last name. I looked up a little bit. I watched his Contender Series fight, and he was getting tooled up pretty bad in that fight and just pulled it out at the end when he was definitely losing. And he just kind of plods forward, just looking for the big punch. And Spivak, like you said, Brandon, Mike, he's definitely had the better competition. His record kind of speaks for itself. He lost to a couple names that there's no need to hold your head down about. I see this kind of being like Spivak's fight to lose. I mean, I see him getting this maybe second. I give him second round submission, Spivak.
Submission? I got you. All right, well, I'm going to go with unanimous decision, Spivak.
I can see that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go with a submission. Why not? I'm gonna go with arm triangle. He's already gotten one. We'll see what happens with this one.
All right, moving on. Next card, we got Faraz Zahabi's brother, I guess Ayman Zahabi versus Draco Rodriguez. Draco, same, hasn't fought since the Contender Series, which was in September last year. But if you look at his opponent's record, he's only fought a few people with good winning records. So, with that being said, he hasn't had a huge pool of higher level fighters. So, it's going to be hard for me to pick him. Who Faraz Zahabi's brother lost to, Ayman Zahabi lost to Ricardo Ramos, who's a beast at 135, and Vince Morales, who isn't bad either. Ricardo Ramos, he lost by spinning back elbow, but the opponents he's faced aren't much better than his until he got to the UFC, if better at all. But He's had that UFC experience. He's not going to have his first time in there. I don't think he's going to get debut jitters. I'm going with Ayman Zahabi, even though it wasn't my pick. Your pick, Mike?
All right, I think so. Zahabi, he's obviously got an excellent corner. I mean, he's got one of the best minds in the game in his corner over there, and he's got that UFC experience. He's definitely going to be hard to finish. He's got good fundamental skill set, of course, but I've been hearing a lot of good things about Rodriguez, and based on what I've heard, it's going to be hard to pick against him. So we haven't seen him do anything against real high-level guys yet. Again, he's only fought a couple guys that were good. One of them beat him. But I think being really aggressive and aggressive opponents generally, from what I've seen, Zahabi is not as good against. So I'm going to go with Rodriguez on this one.
By how?
I'm going to go with by decision.
Decision?
I think he's going to go the distance.
Hollis, what you got?
All right, I'm going to have to go with Mike on this one. Like you said, Brandon, Draco doesn't have too much UFC experience, but I watched his contender fight, and just his octagon presence. He was just aggressive, good striking. He pushes forward, and how he slapped on that submission on his opponent on Contender Series is pretty impressive and pretty fast. Zahabi, I mean, like Mike said, he's got the best corner in the game, but I think Draco's forward pressure and his aggression and his striking would be too much for him. So, and it's going to be hard to take Rodriguez down, which would be the ideal game plan. But I'll take Rodriguez by decision.
All right, and I'm going to go Ayman Zahabi by decision. All right, moving on. Because how many fights do we have on this card? We got 15. All right. Next, Chaz Skelly versus Jamal Emmers. Chaz Skelly at one point was one of the best in the featherweight division. Fought our buddy Jason Knight, lost to him, got his arm broken in that fight, and I think has only had 1 or 2 fights since then. Took him a while to heal up from that, so he's only had 2 fights since then. He had the Bobby Moffitt no contest Dar stroke, which I thought Bobby Moffitt for sure won. And then, I thought Chaz Skelly definitely finished that. It was weird how they stopped that fight, and then which was actually a really good fight because Bobby Moffitt's a black belt beast. It was really good on the ground, and then he lost to Jordan Griffin, fights out of Duke Rufus's, and he has a lot of pressure, but he was just piecing him up on the feet. I got actually, it's your turn to go first, Hollis. Jamal Emmers, he's had 2 fights in the UFC. He fought Giga Chikadze, dude I fought, and he lost by a split decision. And then he fought Vince Cachero, and he won that by unanimous decision.
Yeah. Jamal Emmers. Yep, he fought Giga. I don't know if you remember that fight. I watched it, and that was a real close one. And Giga was taking him down repeatedly. So Giga doesn't have the best grappling game. So if Giga was able to do it, Skelly's definitely going to be able to get him down. Emmers has been kind of chinny. He's got good striking, decent striking, but he's been kind of chinny. And Skelly's going to make it a grind. He's going to try to grind him out. And I don't see Emmers being able to submit him. But I think Skelly's grappling will be the difference there. I'll have to go with Skelly by decision with the upset.
Is he the favorite?
No, he's the underdog.
I'm saying, is Jamal the favorite?
Yeah, he's minus 240.
Oh,
nice.
Skelly's
all right. What about you, Mike?
I think we're all together on this one. Skelly's somebody that we're pretty familiar with. We watched a lot of footage on him over the years. When Jason fought him, it was a really big fight at the time. Skelly and Jason, I think Skelly was on a 5 or 6 fight win streak, and then if you don't count the no contest or whatever, and then Jason was on a 3 fight win streak, and they were both gunning into the top 15 at the time. The winner pretty much got a top 15 spot on that fight, and it was like the televised main event before pay-per-view. At that time, Skelly basically knocked out Mirsad Bektik. It didn't count because it was illegal, because he had a knee on the ground. But I mean, it was pretty serious. And Rashad, was a monster. And then we saw Skelly. He lost to Jason. Jason beat him, finished him in the third round. I think that was the first time Skelly ever got finished. And I think that affected him mentally. In his next fight after that, he fought Bobby Muffet. Didn't look so great. He ended up getting the no contest in there, but Bobby Muffet had him pretty much choked out. The ref just stopped it wrong because he didn't tap, and he was able to get it overturned, which is awesome. I love the fact that they overturned it because the referee needs to wait until you're unconscious, or at least appear unconscious or tap. And in that case, he did not really appear unconscious, and he definitely didn't tap. So he was absolutely right to contest that, and I'm glad he got it overturned. But at the same time, he did not look so great in that fight. And then, he came back, got a nice win after that. And I think that kind of put Skelly back where he needs to be, back in the win column, back with some confidence. So I'm picking him for this one. He's got great wrestling, especially against orthodox fighters. And, a lot of experience against high-level opponents. I think that's going to work to his advantage. I think he's going to pull this off. And I think maybe a submission win for Skelly.
Yep, I'm going to go ahead and say Chad Skelly. Same. I mean, if you watch him move around and stand, and he looks super awkward.
Looks like an alien wearing a human suit.
Yeah, his arms don't straighten out. It looks weird. But that doesn't affect how he fights. He keeps his hand kind of low, so he might get stuck with a couple of punches. But I feel like if he gets hurt, he'll just be able to shoot in, take him down, especially if Giga was, and then I feel like he'll get a finish. I think it's going to be a second-round submission. So that'd be my underdog of the entire card, most likely, is who I'm going to pick as the big underdog. Well, him, and I got one other one I get to say later. All right. Yeah.
Okay. Good deal.
Next, we got Casey O'Neill versus Shanna Dobson. And, Mike, you haven't got to go first yet, so you go ahead and go first.
I did, but I think it's my turn.
No,
so.
You did. I picked – the second fight was Zahabi, and I picked first anyways. I just got you to pick how he's going to win first.
All right, gotcha. So we're on O'Neill and Dobson now?
Yes.
All right. These are two fighters I haven't got to see a whole lot. I've seen a little bit from Dobson, and she's 50-50 record right now.
4-4, yeah.
Yeah, and she's got more experience against title opponents. I think her opponent's undefeated, right?
Well, she was on the Ultimate Fighter, so she has experience on there that wasn't.
It's not on her record.
Yeah, it doesn't show up on her record.
No, not at all.
Yeah. But based on what I've seen, I think O'Neill is going to be able to pull this one off. I think she's a favorite in this fight, and I think she's going to get a decision. Though I think it's going to go the distance.
All right, Hollis, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm with Mike on this one. I looked up some footage on Casey O'Neill. It's hard to find. I found one fight of her. I think it was her last fight, and it didn't impress me too much. She got the submission, but I don't know how this octagon debut is going to affect her. Shayna Dobson, I feel like she's still fighting for her job, even though she pulled off the big upset in the last fight. I think she kind of tired of people calling her the underdog, so she's definitely going to be game. But I'm gonna go with Casey O'Neill for the decision.
All right. Well, I'm going Casey O'Neill. Even though she hasn't fought in the UFC, she's fought people with good records. Shanna has fought people with good records as well, but she's not looked good in most of her fights. It was good on her to win that last fight against being a huge underdog. I want to say they said it was one of the biggest underdog wins in a long time, if not one of the biggest ever.
Sure.
But with that being said, I don't think she pulls this one off.
And if you watch that fight, she got the decision. She was getting beat up, and the girl gasped from trying to put her away.
Yep.
So
I'm not sure if this goes all the way to a decision, but it'd be hard for me to pick otherwise just because Shanna has that experience. So I'm going to go Casey O'Neill by decision.
Yeah, same.
All right, so that's the first four.
Yeah, most of her fights
we're
going
to go
anyway.
What?
Most of her fights, she's 5-0, and
Yeah.
2 of her fights were only one submission and 1 ground and pound. Everything else decision, so I could see another decision coming.
Yeah. All right, next fight we got Rafael Alves versus Pat Sabatini. Both of these guys debuts in the UFC. Both have fought good people. It looks like Pat is a ground guy. Has a lot of rear naked choke wins, a couple heel hooks. So Matt's gonna love him. Mike's gonna love him. So I'm pretty sure Mike's gonna pick him. He has a win by armbar. Pat's 13-3. Rafael Alves 19-9. He's fought a lot of good people over in Titan, which Titan isn't quite as big as it used to be. But it looks he has a lot of guillotine chokes, a couple rear naked chokes, but it looks like he's more willing to stand and bang, and he's got the ground game. I'm going with Rafael Alves by decision.
Where's Sabatini from? His name sounds really familiar. I don't think I've seen him fight in MMA. But
American.
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
NPR.
Yeah, I think he was a competitor, like over up by the New York area in jiu-jitsu and stuff. But I'm not. His name sounds really familiar, so I know I've heard of him. I'm not honestly. I haven't seen. Not that I can recall. I don't think I've seen either one of these guys' fights. But Sabatini sounds familiar. Like you said, I like his record. I'm gonna go with Sabatini on this one. So I'm gonna go the other way.
He likes the submissions.
yeah, we'll see, man. He might get creative out there. So I'm gonna go with Sabatini. He's from my neck of the woods.
All right, Hollis, what you got?
I don't know much about either of these guys. Looking at their records, Alves has more experience, being 19-9. Let's see. Sabatini, he's got a bunch of submissions. They got who's the favorite in this? They got Alves minus 200, so they have him as a favorite. They must know something we don't know. That's a tough one, man. I'm looking at all these submissions.
I think Alves probably fought in Titan. He's a little bit more well known. He fought tougher guys, probably.
Let's see, let me look at it right there. That's gonna be a tough one. I'll go Alves for the experience. I'll go Alves because of the experience.
Basically a coin toss match for us.
Yeah.
I think Alves is going to piece him up on the feet and be able to do him on the ground just because he has submissions too. And I don't know. Maybe if Pat gets a leg, maybe he can get a heel hook, but I don't see that happening.
Got all submissions except for one. And
I don't think that's going to be able to happen with this guy.
All right. Was a split decision.
Yeah.
So
I got the next one's a tough one. Julian Erosa versus Nate Landwehr. Nate the Train.
Nate the Train!
Mike, I believe it's you.
It's on Hollis now.
Is it on Hollis? All right, Hollis is on you.
I'm going with Nate the Train!
Going Nate the Train?
Whoa. I want to see his post-fight interview.
His post-fight interview? Just because the last one?
Yeah. That's going to be tricky, man.
The last one was interesting, to say the least.
Julian looked good in his last fight. He did.
Julian, I've trained with Julian a bunch. Julian is good. He's better than, and if you look at his fights, so how he has some losses, but he was winning those fights and got caught. So not Nate, but Julian was fighting. What is his name? Julio Arce, piecing him up the whole fight. Won round 1, 2, and was winning round 3. He got caught with a right. I can't remember if it was a right and then a right head kick. But that finished him. Then he lost to Grant Dawson, who's good wrestler out of where did I say Julian Marquez was fighting out of last time. What's his name?
Krause.
Yeah, James. He trains with James Krause, and then really good. Devontae Smith, another beast. He lost to him. He beat Jamal Emmers on a Contender Series head kick. I'm telling you, his movement and how he switches stances is unlike other. But you got Nate the Train, so it's over with. Mike, I'm gonna go with Julian Erosa by decision. I think he's just going to outpoint him. Nate has power, and he comes forward really hard. But if you can hit angles on him and make him miss, as long as Julian doesn't tire out, he's going to win that by unanimous. Probably 29-28 unanimous.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Rosa also.
Mike always going to go with my people. Go ahead.
No, we already got one different than you.
All right, go ahead.
So I'm going to go
because
with
he had
Rosa.
submissions.
Yeah.
Rosa by how?
I'm going with decision. I usually do.
All right. All right. Well, then, is it Mike or is it me? I think it's Mike because I picked Alvarez first. All right, Mike, you got another good one. You got a veteran versus an up-and-comer. Now, you got Eddie Wineland versus John Costanda. John Costanda fought in the same contender series as me. He was the first fight of the night against Chaden Leilaloha. Chaden, a good friend of mine out in Hawaii. John won that by decision. It was a good fight. He lost the first round, won the next two. It was a really good, close fight. Good wrestling. He's since the contender series, it took him forever to get to the UFC. I don't know why they took so long because he looked good.
I remember he was sitting back there next to you waiting for Dana's decision, right?
He looked good on the contender series. I don't know why it took them so long, but he fought for Combat America, like 3 or 4 times since then. Now, he had, since the contender series, he has 3 wins and 2 losses and 1 loss in the UFC against Nathaniel Wood, who Nathaniel Wood's a beast. Like we talked about that on the last card. Has good boxing, good cage work. But Nathaniel Wood, definitely a higher opponent than Eddie Wineland is now. If you take Eddie Wineland back in the day, this is a different story. But this is now and here and now. So your turn to pick, Mike.
Yeah, that's the truth, man. Eddie Wineland. All right, so this is the thing. I have a weakness for the old guys, and I have a weakness for the
old
jiu-jitsu
heads.
guys. But I really, Eddie Wineland, I love the guy. He's amazing. He's done amazing things for the sport. But, I mean, it's hard to, like, after his last fight with Sean O'Malley?
Oh, yeah, right
and
cross.
that just didn't, man, he's not, I don't think he's got it anymore. I think it's like he's hitting that stage where he really is getting close to retirement and not really, just getting a few extra fights in there, get some money in the bank. So I don't know if his heart's in it anymore. And you got the young up-and-comer in John here. I'm going to go with the young up-and-comer this time, man. So
Not going with the old head.
Not this time.
Hollis, what you got,
later.
big dog?
Yeah, with Eddie Wilder, man, like I said, I think he's coming to the end of his career right about now. And his chin's not looking the best anymore. And especially with that hand-down offense that he has.
Well, Sean O'Malley has got some decent striking and a little bit of power, so you can't just take that away from him either.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But Eddie Wineland takes a lot of damage because his hands are down. He's more hittable now for whatever reason. I think because he's just getting older. And Castaneda, I watched his film. He's a decent looking up-and-comer. I'm going to take Castaneda by TKO second round. Castaneda.
All right, I'm going now. You got to remember, Eddie Wineland has really good striking, moves side to side a lot. His angles, really good striking. Used to be the man.
Too. Smaller cage.
Used to be the man. With that being said, old sexy Mexi, John Castaneda, my bad. When he, like I said, I saw what he did against another striker on the contender series. I've seen what he's done, even in his losses on Combate, and through his wins. The dude's a beast. He's got good striking, good ground game. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go with him, but I'm taking him by decision.
Yeah. And keep in mind with all these fights, it's a smaller cage too, so the movement's gonna be you're not gonna be able to move around as much.
All right, next we got Drakkar Klose versus Luis Pena. I think this is going to be a good fight for a little bit. Drakkar Klose definitely has more experience in the UFC cage. Now, taking into account that Luis was on the Ultimate Fighter, so he has fights on there that don't count. Drakkar Klose 12-2, I believe, 11-2. Luis Pena is 8-3, but he's had fights on not the Contender Series, but the Ultimate Fighter, and those don't go on your record. And he's fought good people, so I'm not taking anything out of away from him, but since Drakkar Klose has been in the UFC, fighting at 55, that dude has fought some good people. Mark DeCasey, David Teemer, Lando Venata, Bobby Green, beat Bobby Green. Benil Dariush is the last fight that he lost, and he was piecing Benil up, had him hurt, and then he just tried to pressure in too much and ended up getting caught. Got a little overzealous. I think Luis Pena is good. He's got good boxing, good wrestling, and good jiu-jitsu. Really long limbs, but I don't think he can take the power of Drakkar. And Drakkar's going to come with some pressure. Maybe I think as good as Luis Pena's wrestling is, I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Luis Pena he tried to cut to 45 one time. I don't know how he did his diet or whatever. I think Luis Pena's 45er at heart. If he does that, I feel like he'll go a long way. But at 55, man, I know he's tall and lanky, but I don't think he has it at 55 against these type of dudes. I got to go Drakkar Klose by TKO in the I'm going to go in the first.
First? Ooh.
All right, Mike, what you got?
Damn it. All right, you pretty much said everything I would have said for the most part. I know you say I'm always copying you. I think it's like we trained together or something. But
okay, here he
but
comes.
I feel very similar. I don't think he's going to get a first-round finish.
Mystic Mike coming with some weird
prediction. Well, I mean, look, honestly, I think the same thing. Even though he's 6'3", he's a giant, really. He does his frame. It looks like he can get to 45, and he definitely Drakkar is such a he's like a juggernaut, and a lot of these guys at 55 are like juggernauts. And with Pena, you see that power. He's got that rangy, lanky guy power, and he's got great jiu-jitsu. He's got decent wrestling, but I don't think he's going to be able to deal even if he gets a hold of Drakkar to get him down. I don't see it happening. I don't see him getting a good position out of it and being able to hold it. He could definitely catch him in a submission. I think he's got really slick submission game. But Drakkar showed great submission defense against Dariush in his last fight, who is one of the best submission artists in the UFC. Also a phenomenal southpaw, and like you were saying, Drakkar was completely outstriking him. Actually had him almost finished.
Multiple times.
Yeah, almost finished, and then he just ran into that left hand while Dariush was half out unconscious. So if he's able to do that to Dariush, I don't think a southpaw that's a little bit less powerful, might not be as good on the inside, is going to be able to do anything to him in that kind of respect. But I do think he'll make it to the second round. I think I'm going to go with a second round TKO for Drakkar Klose.
Nice. And I hate picking against Luis because I know him personally.
And he's phenomenal. I love that. I love the way he fights.
Yeah. Violent Bob Ross.
Yeah.
But it's hard to go against Drakkar right here. What you got, Hollis? Hurry up.
All right, Luis Pena. If you look at his fights, he lost split decision to Matt Frevola. Matt Frevola's he should have done a lot better against Frevola. He's got decent striking.
Well, that was
2019.
That was a close fight. Very, very.
It was a close fight against Matt, but I don't feel like Matt looked good in that fight, but I don't think Matt's a top 55er or will ever be a top 55er. He has good takedowns and good ground game, good submission. He trains up there with, I want to say, Longo in them.
Matt Arroyo.
Yeah, Matt Arroyo. But I don't think he's not a great 55er either.
Yeah.
Now, y'all take this into account. I'm not in the UFC anymore, so don't say I'm better. Don't think I'm saying I'm better than these guys. I'm just going off UFC level athletes.
Yeah. But yeah, Drakkar Klose definitely has the better wins. He beat Bobby Green, Lando Venata. Like you said, Brandon, he was going toe-to-toe with Benil Dariush until he got caught. He beat Margie Casey. He definitely has the better resume. I think Luis Pena has sneaky submissions, but I think Drakkar's pressure, I think he's going to be stronger, and I think his wrestling just be overall better than Luis Pena's ground game. On the feet, Luis Pena has the better striking, but I think Drakkar.
I don't think he does.
I think
he has good boxing, but I don't think it's better. I think he'll be able to pop out the jab, but it's not tricky enough. I feel like Drakkar's going to be able to pressure through that.
He's got the better striking from 80 inches away.
Yeah, let me change that. He has a better. I think he's got decent boxing, but I think Drakkar Klose will be able to get inside, pressure him, and just put him on. I think he'll put him on his back and just kind of beat him up. I say TKO's. Brandon said first. I'm gonna go second. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, you and Mike are the same on that. And me and Luis have a similar opponent in Steven Peterson.
Yeah.
And Steven Peterson made that fight super close, had him in a couple of submissions. I thought he was going to finish. And if you go back and watch our fight, I don't think it was that close. He never had me in any of those situations. So with that being said, I don't know. I'm still staying with that first round TKO. But I'm hoping the best for our dude, Luis.
Yeah, I'd be happy to get that one wrong.
Yeah, even though I'm picking Drakkar, I'd be super happy to get that fight wrong.
Yeah.
All right. Next, this is who? You or Hollis picking?
Me or Hollis?
I don't care.
Danny Chavez versus Jared Gordon.
Jared Gordon.
They're actually very similar. Danny Chavez, from watching filming, I like he's gonna be faster than Jared Gordon, even though Jared Gordon's called the Flash. He's gonna have the better striking. I'm gonna take Danny Chavez by decision. I don't think he's gonna be able to finish Jared.
I like it. All right.
And let me see.
Who you got, Mikey T?
All right, man. So this is a man. I think this is going to be a phenomenal fight. Actually, I agree with Hollis on this. I think they're both aggressive, and you put two aggressive guys in there that like to mix it up. Both these guys are aggressive. They both like to mix it up. Man, I think that's going to be an exciting fight. I think that's why they put it so high up on the card, even though these guys aren't really well known. I'm kind of excited for this one. This is actually a really tough one to pick. I really like Gordon, but he's a little chinny, and Chavez has shown some power. I remember in his last fight, he didn't finish his opponent, but he had him close to finish a couple times, and that's got me worried. So I kind of want to pick Jared by decision because I think he's more aggressive. I think he throws a lot more. I think he's got really good submissions, so he's going to kind of cancel out Chavez's submission game a little bit. But I'm a little bit worried about his chin. I'm still going to go with Gordon on this one just because of his output. I think he's got more output, and I think that's going to be the difference maker for this fight. But I expect this one to be a really fun one.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't go the distance. But I'm going to pick Gordon by decision. Just assume it goes the distance because they are pretty close in level. But I do think that if it comes down to a knockout, Chavez has the edge on that.
I like it. All right. Jared Gordon has one of the best stories in the UFC, coming from the addiction that he had.
Sure.
Overcoming that, making it to the UFC. I think almost falling back into it at one point while he's in the UFC and overcoming that again. He trains up there with Duke Rufus and them.
Nah, he's at Sanford now.
Is he now at Sanford?
Yeah.
Well, he was. I remember even in his last fight, Paul Felder. He was one of Paul Felder's main training partners for a while. Everybody's moving away from Duke, so
yeah.
Remember Alan telling us this. Just because, Anthony and Sergio aren't fighting as much, and I don't know, they don't have as many people to train with now, so not everybody's moving up there, which is funny because my opponent that I'm fighting is up there training with Duke Rufus right now. But that being said, Jared Gordon has fought the better people, has been in the UFC longer, has fought really good competition, and has looked good. I was glad that they finally let him go down to 50 to 45. For the longest time, they wouldn't let him go down to 45. They made him stay at 55. Don't ask me why, but they wouldn't. They said that he couldn't make it, this and that. He proved that he can make it. He lost one at 45, but you know who that was against? Charles Oliveira. The dark horse of the whole 55 division. So, and that was before Charles moved up. I want to say they fought at 45 at this. 55 at this. Yeah, 155. So that was before. That was while he was still at 55 instead of at 45. So you got to look at who the Flash has lost to. Diego Ferreira.
Yeah.
That's when Diego went on this run until his last fight. Joaquim Silva. Joaquim's only lost one. And then he lost to Charles Oliveira. So they put him against some of the best people, maybe not at the time, even good then, but now they've proven to be some of the best people. So I think it's going to be a pretty pretty not easy fight for Jared Gordon, but I think he takes this 30-27 decision. That's my pick. 30-27, Jared Gordon. All right, Mike. You got the old head versus the new head. Andre Arlovski versus Tom Aspinall.
Man,
Tom's the favorite, big favorite.
Yeah, he should be. I mean, I love Arlovski.
Minus 265.
I hate this matchup. I love Arlovski, hate the matchup. I want Arlovski to win. It's hard, man. It's, based on what we've seen we've seen some great things from Arlovski recently. But if he gets hit on the chin, Aspinall's a beast. He's so tough, and he's got such a bright future. Great on the ground. Arlovski definitely would have an edge if he can get him down, but he's got good takedown defense, and his striking's awesome. Arlovski's one of the greatest of all time. But, I mean, how old is Aspinall? It's like 20.
Is Arlovski?
27.
27. Yeah, I don't even know how old Arlovski is. But, it's Aspinall has shown us some really great things. He hasn't been in the UFC long, but he's been really impressive. And, they need a superstar in England, and I think that's why they made this fight, to make a superstar in England. Because without Bisping, who do they got in England right now? Without Bisping, who do they got for pay-per-views?
They got, what's his name?
They're trying.
No, what's his name?
Till?
Darren Till.
Yeah, and he trains with Darren Till. And Till has been,
the gorilla,
up and down a little bit recently. They don't heavyweights. They need. I think they're trying to make Aspinall that backup plan for Till, and I think that's why they made this fight. So I'm going to go with Aspinall by knockout, even though I really, really want to be wrong about that.
All right, I guess I'll go second. I'm going old head right now, boys.
Oh, hell yeah.
Old head. All right. Tom looks good in his fights. He's beat a couple people in the UFC, but he hasn't fought the who's who, right? He beat Jake Collier. He beat Alan, Bodot? Andre's looked good recently.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs to take you to the ground. I think he can still stand with you. Now, I don't think that should be his only option to do. I think he should mix it up. But I got Andre by decision. I think he's going to outlast him, show him what a veteran can do. I got Andre by decision. Old head.
Wait, I would like to be wrong on this one. I would like to be wrong.
I thought you were going to try to change your decision.
I'm not going to change it.
All right, Hollis.
All right, Tom Aspinall, man. I've watched his past couple of fights, man. I was pretty impressed with him as a heavyweight as far as his footwork, the way he moves. Definitely good fundamental boxing. Apparently he's a jiu-jitsu
Sounds like
black
you're with
belt.
me, though.
Apparently he's a jiu-jitsu black belt. I don't know how legit that is, but that means he's at least.
Sounds like you're with me.
That means he's at least competent if it goes to the ground. You know what I mean? Arlovski wants.
Well,
I feel like he's at the end of his career. Also, Bozer, his last fight against Bozer, I think Bozer won that, but Arlovski was chucking some hammers. I don't know how the judges gave that to him, but I think Aspinall, like Mike said, they're trying to get a superstar in the heavyweight division, so that's why they probably mashed this up. I see good things out of Tom, man. I'm going to take him TKO.
Man, do you know who Arlovski has wins over? Losses to and wins to? His last his 3 wins ago, he beat Ben Rothwell. Ben Rothwell is one of the best heavyweights in the UFC.
But he don't have
and then he lost to Rosenstruck. Who doesn't get unless you're Francis Ngannou or somebody that has superpower, you don't lose to Rosenstruck. You don't beat Rosenstruck.
And
he lost by left hook. So
and Rosenstruck doesn't have the striking like Aspinall.
No, yeah. Well, no, he doesn't. But he has the power. All he's got to do is touch you. That's the difference.
Aspinall.
But y'all,
TKO Aspinall. I'm gonna go.
Hey.
Okay. I would love to see Arlovski win, man. I hope he does.
First round.
Okay.
I think Aspinall's gonna try to run through him. First round TKO.
All right. So is it me or is it Hollis?
I'll go with it.
We got Phil Hawes versus
Nazardine Amavov.
Imavov.
Phil Hawes has always looked good, man, except for when he was on the Contender Series.
The Contender
and,
Series sauce.
Yeah, he gassed
Same
himself.
night I fought. He lost to
He fought
Julian
twice.
Marquez.
He gassed himself trying to put Marquez away. Marquez,
But he hurt Marquez a couple times too. So
exactly, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, there's
you can't. Marquez is a tank, man. You got to be ready for 15 minutes with Marquez. You know what I mean? But he gassed himself out trying to put him away, and ended up getting. He got put away.
not 14 minutes and 23 seconds, because that's how you get not 14 minutes and 17 seconds, because that's how you get not Dars. Yeah, what do you get? Anaconda. That's how you get Anaconda.
No, he got him. He put him away with a head kick.
No, I know that. I'm talking about Julian Marquez's fight this past weekend. He won with 43 seconds left. He got Anaconda, little dude. So I said not 14 minutes and 17 seconds. You got to go all 15 minutes with him.
Oh yeah, you got to be ready. Bring your lunchbox with you. Anyway,
oh yeah.
Nazardine, his last fight he fought Jordan Williams. He should have won that fight. Like, he should have put that guy away. And I know Phil Hawes, he's a beast. He's a beast. He got great wrestling. He's over at Sanford too. Strong guy, good, decent striking. Very decent striking. I'm gonna go with Phil Hawes, TKO. First round TKO.
All right, Mike.
Has Nasruddin ever been knocked out yet? What's his stats on that?
Nah.
Nope.
You never been knocked out until you get knocked out.
You know, so when I saw Nasruddin's last fight, he really impressed me. Super slick. But I mean, Phil Hawes is the guy we've been hearing about for years. You know, even before
Nasruddin's more of like a submission artist, which I don't even know what a Bravo choke is. So
it's a Darce choke.
Oh, Darce.
Yeah, literally the same thing. But his stand-up impressed me in his last fight. You know, I don't know, man. I think that he could definitely pull off a decision. But
hold on, Hollis, shut up, boy. I submit you every time we go. All right, keep going, Mike. Keep going, Mike.
Yeah. All right, so we got Phil Hawes. Yeah, I mean, he's had a lot of hype behind him even before his first time going into the Contender Series. He went on there again, looked great. You know, he fought against. I mean, his losses are to really tough opponents. I mean, he lost to Taylor, who's the PFL $1 million champion, and I mean, and he lost to Julian Marquez, who's phenomenal. And I mean, I just it's hard to pick against Hawes, especially the way he looked. I mean, his last two fights, they were such devastating finishes. I mean, it's hard to pick against Hawes right now, so you got to pick Hawes. I'm going with Hawes on this one.
Yeah, even though Nasruddin has all the good submissions, and Phil Hawes lost to the old head, Luis Taylor. Luis is like 42. I remember meeting him in Vegas for Tyler's Contender Series fight.
No, it was Atlanta.
It was Atlanta. Yeah, we were in my fight. We were in the sauna together.
You're doing these weird workouts.
Yeah, we were talking about how he won the $1 million and everything. It's yeah, man. But he's a cool dude. But I got Phil Hawes. Phil Hawes by TKO late first round.
Like that.
All right. Moving along. A good fight. Alexei Olenek versus Chris Dukas. Alexei didn't look too good his last fight, which it is to Derek Lewis. I figured he'd come out there. I think I picked him against Derek Lewis just because of his ground game. But Derek Lewis is hard to take down. When you take him down, it's even harder to hold him there. And you got to look at Alexei Olenek's record, who he's beat. Fabrice Verdum, Maurice Green. Lost to Walt Harris super quick. I was disappointed in that fight as well, which I wanted Walt Harris to win. When he goes against super good strikers that have a variety of attacks, if you're just a boxer, he's going to probably be able to do pretty good against you. If you have good knees, kicks, and stuff like that, then he's not going to do so well against you, I don't feel like. So, him just having the more experience and fighting the better fighters, even if he gets taken down, which I don't think will happen, I I think if he needed to pull guard and get that Ezekiel from the bottom, he could. He's finished it twice in the UFC, which is nobody ever sees. But and this guy that he's fighting has finished a fight against Chase's opponent coming up, Parker Porter, with knees. Alexei's been finished with knees twice, once by Overeem, once by Walt Harris. So that's his kryptonite. Even though this guy has a win in the UFC by knees against Parker Porter, I'm still gonna have to go Alexei Olenek. He's had 2 fights in the UFC, 2 knockouts, TKOs, whatever you want to call them. I don't think that happens in this fight. I think Alexei takes him down, submits him late first round.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you on that one, Brandon. Chris Dawkins. I mean, if you're familiar with his brother Kyle Dawkins, they're very, very similar as far as their striking approach. He has pretty good striking, decent ground game, but I feel like Lexi will get in his face, get him down, and submit him. They got Olenek as the underdog, but
I'm not surprised. If you look at Dawkins' record, he has almost every single one of his fights but one. He has finished with strikes, KO, TKO, punches, KO, punch, KO, punch, KO, KO. So he either finishes with strikes or knocks TKOs you, or he gets beat by KO or submission. He doesn't go. He's only gone to decision once in his career.
And I think this is one of those fights where that smaller octagon will come into play. They're really big guys, and Olenek, he wants to get inside, grab you, and implement his game. So I think
he'll pull guard if he needs to.
Yeah, exactly. Dawkins doesn't have that larger cage to move around more. So I think he's going to get him to the ground quick, end up getting submission probably late first round.
Mikey T.
All right, well, this is one where I would bet on the over-under. This is not going to go the distance, in my opinion, but it's hard
either
to
way.
pick,
Yeah, I agree.
it's hard to pick a winner. I mean, so here's the thing with Dawkins. He's so aggressive and powerful. He comes forward just throwing power. He runs into you, and then he just keeps throwing punches. That's going to work to Olenek's favor. But I don't know if Olenek's really wanting to be taking heavy shots like that these days. We saw him in a couple fights that ended weird. Where he started getting hit hard like that, and we saw some weird endings. So it's hard to pick Olenek. But because of the way Dawkins fights, and because Olenek's with one of the best trainers in the world, and he's going to be well prepared for it. He can submit anybody. Like, his ground game is one of the best in MMA history, especially at heavyweight. So I'm gonna go with Olenek on this one. But I could definitely see Dawkins pulling off a knockout or getting a TKO victory. I don't think it's going past the second round. I think
either way.
Yeah, I think this is going to end before the third round starts.
Well, with that being said, if you're betting on this, take the under.
For sure.
The under might be 1.5, but I think Alexei's gonna be able to withstand some of the strikes.
Get him down.
Even though Dawkins has been able to prove that in the UFC, get him to the cage, take him down off the cage, submit him from there. I'm gonna go arm triangle with my submission.
I like that.
And that'd be my third underdog of the card. So if you put together a parlay of just underdogs, you take Olenek, you take Arlovsky, and you take, who is the third one?
Jared Gordon.
Skelly.
Well, that's my fourth underdog of the card, if that's the case. You take Skelly, and you take Zahabi. Is Gordon an underdog as well? Where is he at? And Gordon. So that's 5 underdogs. If you take all 5 of those and you put them in a parlay, you don't have to put much on there. You put $100, you probably win a couple grand. That's 5 underdogs I've taken already in this card. If I go perfect on this card, I need something out of y'all. All right, next fight. My pick. I'm happy it's my pick because I feel like this is going to be a pretty good one. I mean, pretty straightforward one.
Yeah, it's going to be a good fight.
Derek Minner, I think it's Minner, versus Charles Rosa. Derek Minner's only been in the UFC for a short time. He fought in the Contender Series, lost at one point, I believe. Yeah, to Herbert Burns by triangle. Then he had one fight against Terrence McKinney, who's not bad. Terrence McKinney's a jiu-jitsu guy, has a bunch of heel hook finishes and stuff like that. So if he could rear naked choke, Terrence McKinney's all like ground game. And he was able to finish him with a triangle choke in the first round, which is pretty impressive. And then he fought again on the Contender Series and won by choke. Most of Dennis's, most of Derek Miner's are by submission. He does have some TKOs. His last fight was against TJ Laramie, who was 12-3. Guillotine choked him. His first fight in the UFC was against Grant Dawson, who's a beast. Rear naked choke finish in the second. He lost that one. But I'm going to have to go Charles Rosa, black belt.
Sure,
Lasted all 3 rounds of...
Say a legit black belt, too.
Super legit black belt. And with that being said, was getting tooled up by Bryce Mitchell, but lasted all 3 rounds with Bryce. And has fought a fucking stacked opponents. His last fight, Kevin Aguilar. Who was Aguilar's last fight? That I was like, man, I don't think he's going to be able to win that. Enrique Barzola. Stopped all of Enrique Barzola's takedowns. Beat Rick Glenn. He's lost to Dan Ige, but Dan Ige's a beast. And it sucks for Kevin Aguilar because they threw him straight to the dogs after he beat Enrique Barzola. He lost to Dan Ige. Then he fought a couple more people, right? And has 3 losses. So this one, he might be fighting for his career. Either that or he's already signed for a new contract since he's had 4 fights in the UFC. But I think this is either he's got to win or he's going to be put out. Or Kevin Aguilar is going to have to win whenever he fights again and get put out. But with that being said, Charles Rosa, training at American Top Team now, is originally from Boston. He's fought a bunch of good people. First fight in the UFC, Dennis Seaver. Then he beat Sean Soriano, who isn't in the UFC anymore, but he trains down there with Henry Hooft and them. Beast. He lost to Yair Rodriguez, which is early in Yair's career, by split decision. Yeah, super close fight. Beat Kyle Bochniak, who I fought. Lost to Shane Burgos, who great boxing, good power.
Was on a tear back then, too.
Yeah, it was on a tear. Manny Bermudez, who was almost undefeated then, was still on a tear. Armbarred him. I mean, to me, it's not even going to be a close fight. Personally, to me, I think Charles Rosa submits him first round.
Yeah. Derek Minner, I watched the last couple of fights, man. I wasn't too impressed by him. The fight that stuck out in my mind the most for this matchup is the Grant Dawson fight. Grant Dawson just mauled him.
Yeah, Grant Dawson's a good wrestler.
Very good, but just showing how easy it was to get him down and just have his way with him, you know what I mean? And then with Rosa's submissions game, once the fight does get to the ground, it's going to be a wrap from there. Minner is aggressive, but his striking isn't the best. He's a pretty good average fighter, but Charles Rosa, he's way more experienced, fought the way better competition, better wins, and he's once again a legit black belt with pretty good striking, surprisingly.
Yep, and Minner's been, even though he has a bunch of submissions himself, he's been beat by submission a bunch.
Yeah. He beat Manny Bermudez. Manny Bermudez is a legit jiu-jitsu guy. Beat Kevin Aguilar.
Well, I mean, he's beat good people. We're talking about Charles Rosa here.
He submitted Manny Bermudez. And Manny Bermudez, all his wins have been, he's known for submitting people, and he submitted Manny Bermudez. Anyway, long story short, I'm going to go with Charles Rosa's submission, first round submission.
Hey, you know what's crazy is Manny's not even in the UFC anymore because he couldn't ever make weight. He missed weight like 3 times.
Yeah.
No, he fought for NEF his last fight was NEF. Is that not crazy? He is 11. He was
What weight class was he trying to get to?
30.
He tried to make 35.
He was supposed to fight. Yeah, he tried 35, and then when he went to 45, I want to say he missed that too because remember we all fought in California. Right. He fought Casey Kinney. Yeah, that's right. He wasn't even close. He was like 6 pounds out.
Yeah.
We were talking to his coach about that the night before weigh-ins.
Yeah.
And then I want to say he fought Charles Rosa at 45 the next fight, and didn't make weight for that either.
Nope.
Let's see. Yeah, he weighed 148 to get to 45.
You
So
just
I
confirmed that
remember this. He missed weight at 2 weight classes. He went up a weight class and still missed weight.
That happens surprisingly
man.
often in the UFC. When guys like miss weight at one weight class, they move up and miss weight again. It's like they get lazier.
At 135, he weighed in at 140.
Yeah.
And I remember them telling Casey Kenny he didn't have to weigh but like 139, 140, and he came in at 139 pounds. 139. All right, Mike, who you got?
Rosa. I mean, best team in the world. It's
Rosa.
Right.
yeah, it's
Best team in the world, American top team. Go for it.
Yep, that's right. But I think it's
Go
gonna.
Coast.
But I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good fight. I do think that Minner has some skills to offer, and he's really aggressive. And Rosa, he doesn't throw a whole lot on the feet. So I think it can be exciting. But once it hits the ground, I think there's going to be a difference in skill level. I do think it's going to be exciting. Minner's an attacker, which I like, and I like the matchup, and I'm looking forward to the fight. But I'm going with Rosa. I think he will probably catch a submission because Minner is so aggressive on the ground. I think he's going to leave an opening, and the higher level grappler is going to get the finish.
All right. So we're all seeing eye to eye on that one.
Yeah.
Next one would be Mike's pick. You got
Mike.
Ketlin Vieira versus Yana. I can't even spell her last.
Skaya.
Yeah. She's now Tiago's. I want to say they're engaged now. I believe.
Yeah.
Who's Thiago?
Thiago Silva.
No.
Or not Silva? Is it? Nah, the one that fought
Alves?
Thiago Alves. Nah,
Brock's her main
the one that
training
fought John
partner.
Jones.
Brock's one of her main
One
training
that
Oh,
fought
partners.
Santos.
Thiago Santos. Yeah.
Brock's one of her
All
main
right, who you
training
got,
partners.
Mike?
I'm going with Ketlin on this one.
Who's one of our main training partners? Thiago?
Brock.
Brock Weaver?
Yeah.
Oh, she taking punishment like that?
No.
just playing.
Nah, she touching him up. Brock had a black eye the other day.
Oh, I believe she's piecing them up. That was a joke. I believe that. But Yana used to train at she used to train out there when she first got into the UFC. She was out there at where John Jones trains.
Yeah.
Jackson's.
Yeah,
And
but
then
he's
she
been working
moved.
with her a lot, getting ready for this fight. But Ketlin Vieira's gonna get her, man.
Well, let Mike pick it. Ain't
I
your
already
pick.
did.
Oh my
I
bad.
picked
Go
Ketlin.
ahead, Mike ET.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Mike trying to pick
Ketlin.
everybody else's pick.
I'm trying to do quick picks.
Now, we got to do quick picks because we're almost at an hour here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yana came into the UFC. She fought. I'm trying to do quick picks. The first fight in the UFC, I remember her coming off of Invicta. Her first fight in the UFC, she fought Chris Cyborg for the 145 title. Lost that pretty quickly in the first round.
Sacrificial lamb.
Yes, 100%. But she looked good for a little bit and then got pieced up. I'm going Caitlin as well. So we all got Caitlin. How y'all got it?
I'm gonna say decision.
Decision, Mike. Yeah, same here. Yana could take some damage. She even won that fight when she had her nose broke in the second round. Finished that fight pretty well. So she's tough, but we ain't picking her. All right, Mike, you're up for the last one.
All right.
The toughest one of all.
This is the best one.
Curtis Blaydes versus Derek Lewis, and I already know who I got. I know who you got too.
Nah, maybe not.
Nah, I know who you got. Go ahead.
All right, so this is a great matchup. Anytime Derek Lewis.
I might have talked him out of his pick the other day. I shouldn't even said anything to him.
Huh?
I might have talked you out of your pick the other day that you had. I shouldn't even said anything to you. I should have just let you. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Nah, you don't talk me out of anything. All right. so
Put some respect on my name.
That's right. So Derek Lewis, always fun to watch. I always love it when he wins because you get his interview after. All right.
Maybe he's fun to watch for the time, for the 3 seconds that he knocks a dude
He's
out.
Fun to watch
out of
against
the 15 minutes.
an aggressive striker. Aggressive technical striker versus Derek Lewis.
It's
fun.
fun. It's fun when he's throwing like switch kicks in the air and stuff. Man, he's a lot more athletic than he looks.
Yeah, man, especially those. I mean, even with DC, he just opens up with naked kicks to the
You're right.
switch kick to the body, switch kick to the head.
Jumping teeps,
Yeah. So I mean, he's
spinning back kicks.
his fight with Ngannou is probably one of the greatest of all time. 2 of the best power punches ever. Look that one up. Watch that one. You can thank me later.
It's probably the most fun fight to watch ever. Not. Do not watch that fight. The most boring fight ever.
2 of the best knockout artists ever. Neither one of them throws a punch.
And Derek Lewis wins.
Amazing staring contest.
Oh
Did he
yeah.
win that fight?
Yeah, he won.
I thought Ngannou got the decision.
Wait, did he?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure Derek Lewis won
They
that.
both lost.
We lost, damn it. That's who lost.
The fans lost that fight. No, Francis Ngannou won that fight.
Right.
It was so close.
No,
because,
he did. You know, he won.
No, yeah,
Derek
he did
won.
win. He did beat him.
Yeah.
He did beat Francis
I thought
Ngannou. That's
Francis
right.
won.
No, I knew that they did. I knew Francis didn't win because
Nobody-
he didn't do anything. They didn't. Neither one of them did anything. But Derek Lewis threw about 2 more punches out of the 13 that they threw all together.
I guess. You know, like some of those fights are so good you don't care who won. Like when Jason fought Leboev the first time. Well, this was that fight that was so bad you didn't care who won.
I wish I could look up the number of strikes done in that fight. It had to be less than 100
They should've
between
called it a
both
draw.
of them.
If it was double digits, I'll be surprised.
They should have called it a draw.
Double digits. Yeah, double digits apiece. All right,
9 fights, 9 strikes thrown.
go ahead. Go ahead,
All
though,
right,
Mike.
so Derek, you know, he's got great, he's got good wrestling skills, and he's got a great ability to just get back up. Like he's really hard to hold down. Nobody's ever held him down, honestly. Like even DC got him down, he got right back up. It was crazy. You know, it was DC was able to pepper him up and get a finish on him with a submission. But I mean, this dude just can get up. With that said, I don't think anybody at heavyweight has better ground control than Curtis Blaydes. And I think, you know, being how easy it can be to take Derek Lewis down at times, I think Blaydes going to be able to control him on the ground, pepper him up. And I think he's probably going to follow in DC's footsteps and look for a submission. So I'm going to go with Blaydes by submission.
I don't think it's ever easy to take Derek Lewis down. He has never been taken down easily. Maybe DC made it look easy once when he picked him up, but that was it.
What I mean is, like, guys that aren't on Blaydes' level have taken him down. And I think Blaydes, now with DC out of the division,
Who has Derek Lewis lost to in the UFC?
well, he was losing to a lot of people. You know, you're talking about, you know, who he's lost to. A lot of his wins are like
He
third-round
lost
knockouts.
to JDS, he lost to
But-
Cormier, and he lost to Mark Hunt in the UFC.
Derek Lewis?
JDS beat him by punches in the second round.
Yep.
Cormier got him rear naked choke second round. Mark Hunt beat him.
Yep, and Mark Hunt. Yeah, punches. And Mark Hunt got the power. Sean Jordan, Matt Mitrione, but that was back in the day before he was on this run and actually got to doing good.
Yeah.
But
Volkov was killing him the whole fight.
oh yeah, that was the one we talked about. I was at that fight. But so you changed your decision from the other day.
I didn't make a decision the other day.
You were trying to talk me out of.
Oh, I was saying, look, man, if this comes down to the third round, he starts getting back up, he can land that knockout punch, which he definitely can. But I just, you know, watching Curtis Blaydes' last few fights, how he uses, you know, his rides on the ground, once he gets people down, you know, his wrestling is on a really high level. And I think that's going to be the big difference maker in this fight.
Hollis, who you got, big dog?
I got Curtis Blaydes TKO third round. Quick to the point. We all know what we're gonna get out of Curtis Blaydes.
100%. He even said it in an interview today.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he said it in an interview today. He ain't trying to. He's got to get 100. He's getting that extra 100,000 by winning. He don't care
Yeah. What the
if you
fans
like
want.
it or not.
Yeah. So he's about to take him
All right.
down, maul him, and that's gonna be.
I got Curtis Blaydes. Second round TKO into the second round. He Derek Lewis gets tired in the Francis Ngannou fight where they throw 10 punches apiece. He gets tired in the Volkov fight where he just moves around and throws 30 punches that fight, but Volkov throws a little more volume. I mean, Derek Lewis is going to get tired in 15 minutes if he's got to be standing for 15 minutes. This is this is not a title fight. This is a main event. This is 25 minutes. Right? So I'm going to change mine. I'm going to go Curtis Blaydes, TKO, fourth round. But with that being said, Derek Lewis, if he had to stand there in the cage for 15 minutes, he's going to be tired. He just gets tired, even if he's not throwing anything. So Curtis Blaydes ain't going to let that happen. He ain't going to let him just stand there. He's going to try to take him down. Even if he doesn't take him down, that means Derek Lewis had to expend some energy somewhere. He's going to try to get the big punch. And, of course, Curtis Blaydes has been caught by the big punch by Francis Ngannou twice. His first fight in the UFC, he lost to Francis Ngannou, big strike, knockout. His last time he fought Francis Ngannou, knockout. So he's not. So he's susceptible to that. But with that being said, Derek Lewis is just going to get taken down, held for a minute. I think he's going to get held better than Mike thinks he will.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Then when he does get back up, he'll get
going
taken
right
right
back
back down again.
Yeah.
and he's going to get some ground and pound, eat that. After that third round's over, he's going to be tired. They're going to call it a TKO stoppage, but it's going to be more so that Derek can't even defend himself. He's so tired. So,
takedown.
with all that being said, I got Curtis Blaydes. All right, last part of this. We got about 5 minutes to do this. You get to pick a couple parlays. You get a for sure parlay. You get a just toss up the parlay, and you get to pick the whole card.
Bet.
Go ahead, Hollis.
All right, my for sure parlay. I'm going with Curtis Blaydes, Kalen Vieira, Charles Rosa, Tom Aspinall, Jakar Close. That's all I'm going with.
Damn, you putting Tom on there?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. He's bigger than Arlovsky, longer than Arlovsky, better all the way around.
All right. Hey, that's all you gotta say. Keep going.
Well, that was my for sure picks.
All right, now go with your toss up.
Toss ups. Toss ups. Jared Gorn and Danny Chavez. Toss up. Julian and Rosa and
that's the two.
Landwehr. You want me to pick one person?
Yep. No, I'm saying pick your toss up winners. Like you're not 100% sure about. You just want to.
Okay.
Maybe your maybes.
Landwehr and Rosa.
Well, you can't pick both of them. Which one's winning?
Okay.
You got Nate.
I'm going Nate.
Now you can also pick over, under, whatever. But you got Nate.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I got Nate.
Let's make this quick.
My underdog pick tonight, Shayna Dobson. I got her
Okay.
upset. Rodriguez.
You putting those two on a parlay?
Huh?
You putting those two on a parlay?
If I put Shayna Dobson, I'm definitely splitting it. For sure.
Got you.
Rodriguez versus Zahabi. I'm gonna go with Rodriguez, but I could definitely see Zahabi grinding that one out.
Just tell us your second parlay you would put in to make a lot of money.
To make a lot of money? Oh, easy work. Okay. A lot of money. I would take Spivak, Jakar Close, Arlovsky, Vieira, Curtis Blaydes, and I'll throw in Shayna Dobson, but I'll split that because, well, let me see who's the biggest underdog on this card. I usually take a fight and I see who the biggest underdog is, and I'll take that fight.
Biggest underdog is Andre Arlovsky.
Oh, never mind. Scratch that one.
No, biggest underdog is Derek Lewis. I lied. And then Yana.
Yeah, never mind.
Come on.
And then
All right. So you're just...
Shayna Dobson.
All right, Mike.
Big upset.
All right, Mike. What you got?
All right.
Safe parlay. What's your safe parlay?
Safe parlay. I think Blaydes is pretty safe on this one. I'm gonna go with Blaydes and Rosa and Aspinall.
All right. Now,
Who'd you say, Mike?
a riskier one or pick the whole card, or you already picked the whole card. Riskier parlay, what would it be?
If I'm gonna do a few.
Now, you can still put Blaydes and them on there, but you just have
throw a
risky
few
picks
more
on there as well.
Yeah, I would add to that. I would add Skelly. I'd probably take the Aspinall one off if I'm gonna do another one.
All right.
But I'll add Skelly and Close.
Oh, Jakar?
Yeah.
All right. So my safe pick is going to be – my safe picks are going to be Curtis Blaydes, Jakar Close, I'm gonna do a 3-pick parlay on this, and it's gonna be Caitlin Vieira. That's my 3. Curtis Blaydes, Caitlin Vieira, Drakkar Klose. My
that.
safe pick. 3-pick parlay.
I like that.
I believe they're all favorites too, so you wouldn't make much money off of that.
Well, I'll tell
Now,
you right now.
huh?
I like that one.
Now my parlay to make you some money, I'm putting all 3 of them on there because that's not going to affect you anyways. Curtis Blaydes, Caitlin Vieira, Charles Rosa. I would actually add him to my other one before, so I'd make that a 4-pick parlay. I think Charles Rosa does pretty good in that.
Yeah.
So Curtis Blaydes, Caitlin Vieira, Charles Rosa. We're going to add Phil Hawes on there. That'd be my 4th. We're going to also take Jared Gordon. That'd be my 5th. Drakkar Klose. John Castaneda would be my 6th. Julian Erosa would be my 7th. And then Casey O'Neill would be my 8th. So that'd be my 8-pick parlay. If you could do 9, I would add John Castaneda. But if you can't, don't do it. So I'm going to stay with my 8, though. That'd be my tougher pick parlay. Make you some money this weekend because I'm going to be right, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Right now, what did I say? What I said was 13-2, and Mike, you're 9-6. So we'll see what Hollis ends up being.
Let's go.
But for now, that's the show. Quick Picks 3. Gonna try to get this out to you Thursday. This will definitely be out to you Thursday, so you get to watch it, see what you think, put you some parlays in. If you lose some money, get mad at Mike because it's not gonna be my picks, or get mad at Hollis because it's not gonna be my picks. I'm gonna do you right, I promise you. All right, we're out. I appreciate being on, Hollis.
Thank you,
All right,
sir.
man.
I appreciate you having me.
All right, later.
Okay, what about this one, B? We got that, hey, sleight of hand, no magic tricks, and that adrenaline, well, that's the fix. Unless it gets my heart pumping, ain't no competition. Anybody who want it can come get some ambition, baby. Where there ain't no ceilings. If you feel some type of way, hey, get out your feelings. It's a duel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Max a million. Talking dollars, that's the minimum. The max a billion. Whoa, Bees killer in my corner. We armed with them bars. Get the bump and set it off like alarms in them cars. Before you think about it, stop in the octagon. Before you end up getting dropped in the octagon. Respect is in order and you better respect it, or it's off with his head. Guillotines for breakfast. Good night. I done seen successes and my seed successors of this legacy. You're looking at a king, a legend.